Hello, welcome to video 12. This is a good one for me. I like this. Filling missing data. So in when you're dealing with data, you always get occurrences where you don't have all the values that you need. If you're lucky enough to have a team that's pre-processing all the data before you get it, then you might not need this so much. But being able to fill that data at scale quickly is going to help you do your job better and make you less angry that when you try to plot something in a graph that it doesn't break because it doesn't have a value that it doesn't understand. For example, when it's looking at numbers and then it suddenly gets an NaN, which is a string, and is like, oh, I don't know how to handle that. So basically, what we're going to do is figure out how to deal with that right now. We have imported pandas, we have loaded our data, we have done info, description, and head. And we've added another one called shape. And shape basically tells you how many rows and how many columns. Very quick way of understanding if you're dropping duplicates and stuff like that. It's handy to know if it's actually worked. But quickly into filling missing data. So if you know that you want to replace all your missing data with zeros, for example, if you've got if you're doing rank checking and the raw data you got back has got blanks where there was no ranking for that day or missing data, then you would do play data dot or ranking data dot, but in this case we're doing play data dot fill NA and then brackets with a 0. And what that will do is that will fill the entire data frame if it has an NA with a 0. Because of the way we've did it at the moment, it gives us what the data frame is. But if we wanted to overwrite the current data frame that we've got, which you usually do, you would put in place equals true, and then it will do that, and then play data will be totally overwritten with your new filled in values. Another way to fill things in is it's the same call, so it's fill NA. So that was just using a set value because maybe you know that you want to replace everything with a 0. But in this case, we are going to give it a dictionary. We've come across dictionaries before, they're very useful. And fill NA uses dictionaries. So in columns, particular columns, you might want particular values. So if there's an NA value in age restriction, maybe you just want a 0. But maybe in current version, so that's Android version, you want a 1. And to do that, you feed it a dictionary with just like this here. So age restriction 0 and current version equals 1. Again, if you want to overwrite the data frame, same as always, just in place equals true, and it will do that. Another method for when using fill NA is method equals ffill. So it's forward fill, I believe it stands for. And what it does is it takes the last observation in the data set. So if it's going across this way, or maybe coming down this way, it looks at the last one and goes, well, we're just going to use the last observation to fill here. And you will need to understand your data to be able to use fill. But you can have a limit because maybe you're missing 10 days worth of data, but you don't know it because you're just trying to fill this missing data quickly. But you know that you want a limit on previous observations before you cut it off. You would just you'd be adding limit to, so you would go in here, you put limit to, and we'll get it, there you go. It will give us a data frame and it will have filled any values with previous observation with a limit of 2 missing values. Make sense? Hopefully it does. Comment if it doesn't. The other way to do it is using the module NumPy, which we haven't talked about a lot, but it's basically the calculator. And you use fill NA again. We just constantly use it, but there's different ways that we can fill the data. And maybe we're happy just filling it with the average. Maybe it doesn't move too often, so we're happy to fill it with the average data. And in that case, we use np.mean, and it will look up the data set and then it will take the mean number and stick it in the NA value and replace it as the NA value. And that's basically it. I mean, it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but you're going to have to be able to fill missing values. And these are examples of how you would fill missing values. There's probably a lot more, and you understanding your data will know exactly what way you would prefer to fill a value with. But That's how easy and simple it is. It doesn't matter how big your data set is. That's a huge one. It's 380,000 rows and 39 columns. And you see it does it very, very quickly. That's today's video. You can support the community by liking the video, by commenting, particularly if you've got any questions, just comment away. There's no wrong question. Subscribe to the channel. And if you really love it and you really want to help the community grow, share the video with your friends. All right, I will see you for video 13. Ciao for now.